Music of a Lifetime, the podcast that takes you back in the days and explores the best in music and music culture when things were uptight, all right, and out of sight. DJ CJ drops knowledge on the best in black, pop, jazz, dance, and house music since the 70s, baby. And you dig it. Get some. You're in the mix with DJ CJ on Music of a Lifetime.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, all right, here we go. Episode number 2, Music of a Lifetime, featuring your man, DJ CJ, Blaze Street Music in the house, coming to you straight from Paradise, Makaha, Oahu, Hawaii, my home, Chihu. Thank you for hanging out with me again. Definitely appreciate you being online with me. How y'all doing out there? Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Ha'ole. Makahiki ho. Thank you so much. All right, so this is episode number 2 of my show, Music of a Lifetime. Well, I'm trying to count down the 50 of the greatest albums and records of my lifetime to just give you some insight into how much I love music. I love talking about it. I love sharing it with you. You know, back in 2017, I decided that I wanted to somehow figure out a way to interact with people to say, how much do you love music? How much do you care about music? And this is what I decided to do. Once again, Music of a Lifetime. This is going to be episode number 34. Now, I'm not going in sequential order. I'm not going like 50, 49, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to do the top 10 in order for sure. At least the top 10 and maybe the top 20. So this is episode number 34. I'll tell you who it's going to be about in just a second. But let's just recap what happened last week. I did my number 3 and my number 8, and that was Michael Jackson's Thriller and Off the Wall. And just so you know, Off the Wall is my number 3 of all time, and Thriller is my number 8. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out, a special praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I always do that and say, Lord, thank you for my love of music. I have to say that, everybody, because that's where it came from. My father was a musician as a kid. He's my hero. Taught me everything I know about music, and he gave me the love of it. In doing so, he gave me the love of music through our Lord and Savior. So thank you, Lord, for me to be able to do this. I really want to shout that out to you. Into the universe, yes. Also giving a shout out to my 336 and my 808 Ohanas, my families back home in North Carolina and Winston-Salem in the 27105, and also to my family here in Hawaii, the 808 family, my 808 Ohana. Thank you guys for supporting me very much. Also giving a shout out to I call them the DJ Bs, my DJ brotherhood, all the fellas that I know that I worked with, my good DJ close friends, and everybody who have been down with me since I've been in this game over 40 years, y'all, since 1982. So I want to give a shout out to all of you. All right. Real quickly, I'm going to preview some new stuff coming up for you. The next episode is going to be number 31. That's going to be Total 4. And then after that, I'm going to be doing some good stuff. I'm going to be recapping entries number 50 through 45, all in one show. And that's going to include James Brown, Earth, Wind & Fire, my dad's band, The Eliminators, and some other great stuff too. I'm going to be doing a classic rock show. Well, I'm going to be doing all the classic rock that I love. That's going to coincide with my entry for Fleetwood Mac. I'm also going to be doing some Madonna. Oh, some 80s electro synth UK stuff, all kind of stuff. So just stay tuned for me, please, and let me bring this back for you so we can go. I can keep talking to you about it. All right. Picture 1979. Let's go to Chicago, Illinois on 12 July 1979. There's an event being held in Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois, there's a baseball game between the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Now, what makes this special is that a local DJ from Chicago named Steve Dahl had a contest. He said disco sucks, and they wanted to kill disco. It was called a disco demolition night. It was in July. It was in Chicago. He said everyone who brought a disco record, would get admitted to the game for 98 cents. Now, I have no idea how much the games cost for regular price, but 98 cents for a baseball game had to be pretty good. The reason I bring this up is because supposedly in music archives, there's a saying that goes that disco died on that night. Basically, the music of disco, the Tramps, Tavares, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Chic, who I'm going to be talking about. That's the hint. I'm talking about Chic and Risque in this episode, which was released on July 30th, 1979. And we all know what Chic did, and we're going to be talking about it during this episode. But for some reason, Mr. Dahl decided that he didn't like disco. And it is common knowledge in a lot of musical publications that the reason that it was held was because, a lot of radio stations were playing a lot of disco, and this is a fact. Even back in North Carolina, where I'm from, disco was all over the radio waves. Now think about it, when a certain kind of music is being played and you can't hear what you like. So he wasn't able to hear the rock that he liked and stuff like that. So just a little bit of trivia for you there. Supposedly on the 12th of July, this event turned out to be a riot. I don't know if you knew that, but several fans got really, really angry and fought with the police that night. Some of them got hurt. Several thousand of the fans, they raided the field. The baseball game wasn't even played because once they started blowing up the records that was placed in a big box, they literally set the records on fire with fireworks, and they started blowing up the records. The fans went crazy, so they ran the field, and that turned out to be a pretty stupid spectacle. But I digress. Let me move on and go into today's episode. So I'm going to be talking about Chic, one of my favorite groups. 1979, I had already signed up for the Navy in October of 79. That was the beginning of my senior year in high school. But before that, this album came out. Now, I didn't really start listening to this album until later on that year, because into my senior year of high school, I got a part-time job at the veterinarian store called Old Town Veterinarian Hospital. And that was when I actually started listening to the Chic record. I knew them previously from a couple of records I heard on the radio, but I'll get into those details later on. So just want to let you know we're going to be talking about Chic and Risque, one of my favorite albums by them. It's number 34 on my list, and I'm going to give you some other songs about Chic, all right? So settle in, get yourself ready, get your drink on, get your smoke, whatever you got to do to hang out with me for this episode. Number 2 of Music of a Lifetime. Blaze Street Music, DJ CJ. Let's go. All right, as we know, that's my theme song. I've adopted it as my theme song. MFSB is called Dance With Me Tonight from 1978, and I'll be talking about MFSB later. Don't forget hit me up on my social media platforms, IG at CJ Beats, that's CJAAYBEATS. You can hit me up on Facebook. Also look for Carl R. Johnson CJ Beats. YouTube at DJ CJ. All right. So we're going to get started with Chic Risque, released on July 30th, 1979. We know that Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards were actually the founding members of Chic. They actually began in 1972 as a group called the Big Apple Band in New York City. Both native New Yorkers, Nile and Bernard, were very successful as session musicians in and out of New York City, playing with a lot of different people at the time. Somewhere along the way, they met a young man named Tony Thompson, who was a drummer at the time for Patti LaBelle. And around 1976, the three of them decided to say, hey, let's start recording something. So they did a couple of recording sessions under Atlantic Records, and they did a song with Norma Jean Wright. I'll be playing that song later, but the basic building blocks of Chic became from Nile and Bernard, and Tony joined later. But you'll find out that the core of them did a lot of different things and basically changed a lot of the core music. So here's a release from the Risque album called A Warm Summer Night. Let's get started with this one. Thanks for joining me. You know what? Before this one, Chic had did two other albums. In 1977, they did their debut album called Chic, and they basically had a picture of two females just hanging out on the front. And then on Say Chic, which is the second one, in 1978, they did a group picture. The reason I bring it up is because Chic made a concerted effort to change the style. Nile Rodgers has said in several interviews is that he got the inspiration to try to make Chic different and to stand out from other groups at the time after watching an English rock band called Roxy Music give a performance in where Roxy Music wore suits. And Chic Nile was like, hey, I want to do that for our group. And they set the tone at that particular time. When you saw their album covers, when they're dressed to the nines, they're wearing like high fashion clothes, setting trends with the eyeglass wear that they were wearing at the time. And growing up in the hood back home, we took notice of that, and we started trying to dress like that when we went out to the clubs and stuff like that. My best friend and I, Derek and I, we were hanging out in a club called TOC back home in the 27105, rolling up in there dressed up too. Not quite with suits on, but we wasn't doing like a lot of kids are doing now with your pants hanging off your, never mind. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is this is another example of how music can set the tone for society, how people can look at musicians and artists that we see and try to emulate them and be like them. And this is just another example from 1979. All right, so let's move on up to 1982. When I got here to Hawaii from Osawa, Japan, I got here in November of 1982. And I came back again in 1984, and I've been here ever since 1994, and I've been here since 1994 this time. This one is from a soundtrack called Soup for One. Nile Rodgers produced the soundtrack for the movie Soup for One. He had several guest artists on that album featuring Fonzie Thornton, Carly Simon, and Teddy Pendergrass. But this song for me was really, really banging because I used to love to go down to Tower Records and get my music. So check this one out for me. Yeah. Okay. So once again, I'm talking about 1982 when this song came out as a release from the soundtrack from the movie called Soup for One. At that time, Nile Rodgers was just becoming a sought-out producer, but he was only beginning to really set the tone for who he was and who he was going to be. Now, in 1980, he helped produce Diana Ross's album called Diana, and from that, there were two songs, I'm Coming Out and Upside Down. So he had already pretty much set the foundation of being the super producer that he was going to be. He was sought out to do this record by the label Atlantic Records. They had a pretty good relationship between Nile and Bernard themselves. They were able to do a lot of different side projects, but you got to know that sometimes producers have to basically tell the label when they can go stick it, and I'll talk about that later. You're tuned in to episode number 2 of Music of a Lifetime, featuring myself, DJ CJ, and Blaze Street Music. I'm telling you about all the music that I've loved during my lifetime. I'm in 19. We took a time travel back to 1979. Woo, bring me up, Scotty. And we're talking about Chic and their Risque release, which is number 30 on my list. Now let's go further back to 1977. And I need you to do something for me. I need you to get up on the floor. Can you get up on the floor and dance for me? From the initial debut release of Chic, Dance, Yowza, Yowza, Yowza. Check it out. Another thing, too, is Chic was the only, other than Barry White and the Love Unlimited Orchestra, Chic was one of the only groups during that time that had a dedicated string orchestra playing their tracks with them. There were 4 people. I can't remember their names right now, but importantly, you just need to know that Chic was one of the pioneers in doing that. Barry White was probably the first one to do it when he had the Love Unlimited Orchestra. So we're talking about 1977, and dance is ruling the charts. Remember when we got started and I told you about how some of the radio stations around the country were really starting to rebel against black music, urban music? They did so. You can call it what you want, but we know what it is. When somebody comes out and tells you that disco sucks, and disco is the music of the culture, of the club, of the neighborhood, of a certain people, there's no denying what they're trying to say. And they was just trying to get classic rock and rock back on the radio, and they were hating on it. So no matter what your opinion about it is that, you know, I say what I have to say about it, and I know how it is because I grew up in that time. And I know that my radio station that I loved was WAAA in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, AAA. They were an AM station. They didn't have enough funds and money to stay on after dark, so they went off at sunset. But that's where I got a lot of my love for music. So what happened after that? In Winston-Salem, we didn't have no FM station that played a lot of our music. So I had to tune into WQMG in Greensboro. Let me tell you something life-changing. One of the best radio stations ever that I've listened to in my lifetime. WQMG plays some of the best music of my life. A lot of what you're hearing, I heard from them. So this is Dance, 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 Yowza, 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 which was a big hit. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest for Chic, 1977. They were just getting started. We're going to go to 1978 and 1979 here. But let's jump up to 1980. How about that? Can I tell you about where I was at this time when this record came out? So Real People came out in 1980. I had went to boot camp, got there on September 3rd in San Diego, California, 1980. We weren't able to, the only music we could hear at the time, Adam and I, was on the radio. And the radio station in San Diego was, of course, yacht rock and pop and very limited black music. But they did play some stuff. So they played this one. And I ended up buying this cassette when I got out of boot camp later on that year. This is definitely one of my favorite Chic songs. So it's called Real People. Check it out. I did say 1980, one of my fondest memories, because when I heard the song on the radio, I just told my cousin Adam, Adam and I actually joined the Navy together. We left home in September of 1980, both joined the Navy under the Buddy program. We were very, very, very blessed. The Lord gave us that. End up going to boot camp together from September to November of 1980. And guess what? When I got stationed in Misawa, Japan, I was on special duty. And they said, hey, you going to the USS Constellation. I'm like, oh, shit. My cousin on that ship. We spent 7 months together on a Westpac cruise in the Indian Ocean, Persian Gulf. Halfway around the world, y'all. Let me just tell you, unbelievable. That's why I love the music, because those were the guideposts for me, the milestones in my life, to where all the special events of my life has to do with music. I'm going to give a salute to my cousin later on in these podcasts, but for now, I just want to share with you Real People, which one of my favorite songs by Chic. All right, so you're probably thinking he's talking about Risque, there was a lot of good songs off of there. We know a few songs, maybe one. You probably saying, man, CJ, I know what's your favorite song off of Risque. I already know, because everybody knows the bomb cut off of that. You know, that cut pretty much changed the world. Well, it may not be that cut. It may be another cut. But for me, I'm going to tell you why I love this song, because what happened was when it got released after that other record, this record came out also. A Warm Summer Night was also a big cut off of that album. So radio stretched it out as much as they could from the record of Risque, as the label did. But we know that they all focused on this one song, which is not this one. But I focused on this one because what happened was, during certain times of the night when QMG was on Greensboro, they had a certain part of the program where they played like cuts that weren't on the mainstream. They were like cuts that were not, if you call them now, they were trending. This one for me was trending, and this is the one that set me on fire. This is my favorite song off of Risque, number 34 on my 50th greatest records and albums of my lifetime. Check it out. My Forbidden Lover. Get down with it, because you're going to love it. Yes, let's go.
to kill. Choose a winner who has flavor, looking out for style. Only the best can pass this test. Let me check you out. In the midst of a fierce competition, get a view from a better position. A little closer now, you got my attention. Baby, you're my superstar. Keep showing me moves that are blazing, cause you're teasing my imagination. Don't believe I can fight temptation. I think you are ready to give it up. So come on and show me what you got. Start to be on, maybe non-stop. Tonight you're gonna get your time to shine. Behind the stars and here tonight, dancing underneath the party light. When I see you working that body right, tonight you're gonna get your time to shine. Shine, 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 ooh, shine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Spotlight search for someone special. Could you be the one? If you're not, then don't get jealous, just keep moving on. Feet to the beat, so hot the heat's bringing out the shine. So clean, so fresh, a real good kick, so I might make you mine. In the midst of a fierce competition, get a view from a better position. A little closer now, you got my attention. Baby, you're my superstar. Keep showing me moves that are blazing, cause you're teasing my imagination. Don't believe I can fight temptation. I think you are ready to shine. Give it up. So come on and show me what you got. It's about to be on, maybe non-stop. Tonight you're gonna get your time to shine. Behind the stars and here tonight, dancing underneath the party light. When I see you looking that body right, tonight you're gonna get your time to shine. Give it up. So come on and show me what you got. It's about to be on, maybe non-stop. Tonight you're gonna get your time to shine. Behind the stars and here tonight, dancing underneath the party light. When I see you with the party right, tonight you're gonna get your time to shine.
We just went from 1979 to 2006. Luther Vandross' label released the Ultimate compilation, the Ultimate collection of Luther Vandross. I highly recommend you get it. So what happened was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were asked to contribute a song. They had a record in mind. They said, Luther, hey, we got this record for you. It's back to your Chic days, because Luther sang with Chic. Everybody knows that Luther Vandross sang with Chic. He was one of their background singers. And when Luther went on tour, he took Fonzie Thornton, who was also a singer with Chic with him. Fonzie was one of Luther's core backup singers, along with the two other females. Luther was like, sure. So you recognize the sample? It's My Forbidden Lover, sampled by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, which is an ode in itself from those two producers sampling a record from another of their hero producers in Nile Rodgers. The song was called Shine. Check it out. Always trying to bridge the gap for you right here on Music of a Lifetime with me, your boy DJ CJ. Let's keep it going. We're going to move on to something else. Another selection from the Risque LP. It says My Feet Keep Doing Something. Let's check it out. What is it going to do? Again, you got to understand the legacy of Chic. You got to know who they are, what they did for music at the time. This is another one.
Dancing, myself was stand out in the crowd. Then it hit, my ideas began to fit. I had to be what I was meant to be. Now my name is up in lights, and I hum it every night. They were bright, my brains are in my feet. Dancing, dancing, my feet keep dancing. Dancing, dancing, my feet keep dancing. Dancing, my feet keep dancing. Dancing, 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 dancing.
Like I said, this is the legacy of Chic. Also saluting my number 4 entry, 34. Sorry, getting a little late. Number 34 entry on my list of music of a lifetime, which is the album called Risque from 1979. We're gonna get off into another one from their from their Chic LP called I Want Your Love. You ready to get down with me on it? Let's go. Yeah, another one of those bomb cuts for you right here. Blaze Street Music giving it to you. Repping the 336 and 808. Let's get out. Let's go. Brings back so many memories for me just listening to the radio and being in the hood. A lot of house parties, a lot of this music came out. You got to understand that during this time in the 70s, you had releases from Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, all kinds of music was going on. for us in the hood during that time. You know what I mean? It's like it was like I don't know. There's a big word I probably want to use, but I can't remember right now. Okay, this was off of Say Chic, I Want Your Love. I'm going to give you a treat right now. I said I'm going to give you a treat.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Okay, I'll make your day then by giving you the treat. The next song I'm going to play has two interesting factoids that go with it. Now, the record itself was created out of a moment of disarray. So evidently, Grace Jones had invited Nile and Bernard to a party. I believe it was a New Year's Eve party. I can't remember for sure, but Nile Rodgers has told the story several times as to say what happened, but they were invited by Grace Jones to come to Studio 54. She said it. Her words, not mine, not theirs. She said, yeah, come on down to Studio 54. You can come see me as I'm performing. Nile and Bernard get to the club. They get to the front of the velvet rope. The bouncers are like, yeah, what's up? They're like, yeah, we're here to see Grace Jones. When Nile Rodgers and Bernard, the bouncers like, who, what? Who are you? Yeah, well, Nile and Bernard, they was like, no, you can't get in. But she told us we could come. Can you go get her and, find out? That didn't happen, whatever. But the big bouncers didn't let them in the club. So Nile and Bernard, they have an apartment like not too many blocks away from the club. They so pissed off, man. They're like, man, them frickers didn't even let us in the club, man. How do you feel about that? They was like, oh, F off. F off the bouncers. F them. So they was like, oh, let's jam to that. Oh, F off. However, it turned out the groove came into be F off. F off. So now ask Bernard, do you think we're gonna get away with saying that word in the song? Bernard was like, no, brother, we're not gonna get away with that word right there. We gotta say something else. So they came up with freak. Freak out? Oh, freak out. True story. That's how the Freak was born. It started from a night of not getting to 54, turned into a hit record that became Atlantic's biggest selling record from the time it was released until 1990 or 92, whichever one it was when Madonna released Vogue. So think about the time frame. That's a long time, man, that this song was the number one record for a record label such as Atlantic Records. So just telling you about the homage of Chic and about what they've done. And I'm not even talking about what Nile did with David Bowie in 1983, what he did with Madonna in 1984. You think about that. Nile Rodgers has carved out a legacy in the music industry that cannot ever be taken away. And he lost his partner here, one of his best friend, Bernard Edwards, in 1996 due to a tragic illness. But he's continued the legacy of Chic. They continue to perform all around the world as the Chic, Nile Rodgers and Chic. So the music lives on. So think about that. Share it with your kids. Share it with your grandkids. Share it with your youngins. And for us old OGs like me, we know we love this stuff. So let's get down with the Freak. How about it?
1, 2, freak out. You freak, say Chic. Freak out. 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 Have you heard about the new dance craze? Listen to us, I'm sure you'll be amazed. Big fun to be had by everyone. It's up to you, surely can be done.
Okay, I'm about to bring this one down so I can bring another one in for you. All right, real quick. My man, DC, my boy, my Ace Boone Coon from back home. We used to go to the club. Woo. We used to go to the club and be up in the TOC when they was playing these records. Like Cool in the Game, Ladies Night, all of that. Daggone Fatback Band, KC and the Sunshine Band. We used to be up in the club for all this stuff. So that's why this music is memories for me. Remember, we got to keep the music alive because we have to keep sharing it just like I do for you. So guess what? You want to know what the number one song off of Risque is for me? It's like a burning desire question for you, right? I didn't get to play Everybody Dance, but I love that record from Chic also. So I'm going to get it down to where I can break off this song for you, which was released in 1979. And remember, what came after this song? This song did not give birth to hip-hop. It was a part of it. Hip-hop already got started in 1973 when Kool Herc did the house party in the Bronx. And there was plenty of music between that time and between when Sugar Hill Gang did Rapper's Delight. So you got to understand, before there was Rapper's Delight, there was Chic with this song right here. The bass line has been quoted as being one of the best bass lines in the history of music. The groove is known all around the world. Nile Rodgers, Bernard Edwards gave us this song at the time, which was an anthem for the club, an anthem for the hood, an anthem for people to raise their hands up and to say, hey, let's party, let's have a good time. So here's my song from Risque, my favorite, not my favorite, but my next to the favorite song. Risque was number 34 on my list, you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Stay tuned. Next week, I'm going to be bringing you some other stuff. I'm going to bring you number 31, which is going to be total 4. Here is Good Times from Chic. Check it out.
Takes you back in the days and explores the best in music and music culture when things were uptight, alright, and out of sight. DJ CJ drops knowledge on the best in black, pop, jazz, dance, and house music since the 70s, baby. And you dig it. Get some. You're in the mix with DJ CJ on the music.
Happy days are here again. The time is right for making friends. Let's get together. How about a 9:45? Come tomorrow. Let's all do it again. Boys will be boys. Better let them have their toys. Girls will be girls. Cute ponytails and curls. Must put an end to the stress and strife. I think I want to live the sporty life.
Music of a Lifetime, the podcast that takes you back in the days and explores the best in music and music culture when things were uptight, alright, and out of sight. DJ CJ drops knowledge on the best in black, pop, jazz, dance, and house music since the 70s, baby. And you dig it. Get some. You're in the mix with DJ CJ on Music of a Lifetime.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can Can you dig it?